Kenya imports nearly 100,000 tons of second-hand clothes every year, creating thousands of jobs and millions in revenue, but at the same time, threatening the survival of the local textiles industry. CNBC Africa takes a look at recent measures adopted by the East African community to phase out importation of second-hand clothes in the next 3 years.
Second-hand clothes, commonly referred to as mitumba, form a significant part of the apparels market in Kenya. The garments, which are sourced from foreign charity organizations initially meant for donation to the poor, have led to the growth of an industry worth millions of dollars.
Actually, it has helped me a lot in life because I'm a Form 4 dropout. So when I got to this market, I started business. I was employed here and I was being paid 200, and from there I started my own business there. I support my family with it. Everybody depends on me with this mitumba here.
I think I prefer more mitumba because mitumba we have a variety, right? And mitumba also creates a large number of people. I mean, jobs for a large number of people as compared to the brand new clothes. That's one thing for sure. We have had a report which says that the formal sector is actually employing less as compared to the informal sector. So I think the mitumba business is quite good.
According to a report by Reuters, the sector attracts annual revenues of up to $54 million and is crippling the local apparel industry. Consequently, the East African Community Heads of State recently signed an agreement to phase out importation in a period of 3 years.
The local market is a key market for the textile and leather products. However, this market has not been as big as it should be because of the influx of second-hand clothes. And as you know, second-hand clothes are quite cheap, and any manufactured textile product or apparel or shoe would not be able to compete with them. So the Heads of State Summit deliberated on these issues, and they have identified textile and leather as priority sectors. In that case, what they have done is they've given a 3-year phase-out period for second-hand clothes to be phased out of East Africa, so that we are able then to grow our textile and leather industries.
According to authorities, the ban is intended to transform the region into an industrial bloc by improving capacity for production and value addition while creating more jobs.
You'll be able to create more jobs in manufacturing of clothes and shoes and leather products than you will in trading. Because when you're looking at manufacture, you're looking at an entire value chain. If we start from the planting of cotton, we move to the entire process until you have the final cloth, that is a whole value chain where jobs will be created. In fact, we'll be able to create more jobs by supporting locally manufactured clothes and shoes and other products.
This, however, is not a shared sentiment, as stakeholders on the ground feel the ban will threaten their means of livelihood.
Personally, it will affect me because loss of job, which is very much obvious thing. We lose our jobs, we lose our customers, we lose our clients. We also lose our means of making our daily living, right? We earn our daily living from mitumba as compared to stealing or maybe doing other things. So you can't tell me that if by destroying mitumba, you'll also create another job. You kind of like paradox yourself.
We have those who depend on me. We lose a lot. Customers, they like adapting to those local clothing, everything. It will be very difficult to them. And then those who depend on me, maybe those who are going to school, those who are support through this mitumba, they'll also be in a very difficult situation.
It has created employment. In Kenya alone, I think just in Gikomba, the market is close to 65 to 75,000 people who are employed there. And many people actually buy clothes there. Kenya imports close to 100,000, 150,000 tons of second-hand clothes every year. So the government will lose customs revenue and duty revenue they get from those imports. Purchasing power for all those guys who are working in the second-hand industry would drastically reduce, and it has effects on the rest of the economy.
Reuters estimates that at least 4,000 containers of second-hand clothes are received at the port of Mombasa every year, raising concerns as to whether the local apparel manufacturers will meet this demand.
I think it will take time. As you notice, most time the heads of state meet, they normally say something, then it takes time to implement. But by taking everything into the context of the roadmap that Africa has in terms of harmonizing the customs unions and the economic zones, yeah, and harmonizing of laws in between there. The question now that comes, one of the things that they want to put in place is that they buy textile from the region. The question is, does the region have capacity to provide textile and clothes for 150, 160 million people? Do we actually have the capacity?
I think one of the things we need to do if we are going to grow our manufacturing sector definitely is create the right value chains, because that way it makes it more affordable to manufacture. If we can look at textile, for example, from farm to fashion, so that you're thinking about the entire process and ensuring that locally we have industries to support that entire chain. Whether it's having industries that do zippers, other people can do the buttons, and we can manufacture all those things locally. That way it will be cheaper to do it. At the moment, we're importing a lot of those parts, which makes it more expensive to manufacture locally.
For Kenya to achieve an effective ban on the trade in second-hand clothes, clear policies on the same will be key.
Whether it's actually going to be done in 2 years, 3 years, I highly doubt. If we have not been able to manage sugar and we still smuggle sugar inside the country from Uganda, from Somalia, from everywhere, I think it would be even harder to put a hawk eye on clothes.